Hey, so today I'm going to talk about the season of Imbolc, which is the midway between winter solstice and the spring equinox, so the very midpoint of the winter season. We're halfway through here right now. And Imbolc means in the belly. It translates to roughly that from the Celtic cultures. And I think of it as, us being pregnant before this rebirth or birth in the springtime at the spring equinox. So when I think of Imbolc, the image I get in my head is a snow-covered grassy field that's been melting. So there's this warmth that's been rising up from the earth, and so the blanket of snow is melting. There's patches of melted snow where the grass has come through, and so there's really this hope of the winter kind of melting away and the warm earth rising to make way for the birth of spring. And I imagine us in that warm cave inside of the earth, held in this gestational period, held in the winter cave, yet we're generating this heat, we're generating this potential energy, which is what winter's gift is this generation of a growing energy that's not moving into action yet, but we're filling ourselves up with this energy that is warming the surface at this time. So but we're still underneath, we're still there in the cave. This is still winter. The element we're working with is still the earth element, but things are shifting now from winter solstice, from that first half of winter, which is a much darker time. So, imagining us down in that incubating, gestating cave that's being warmed by our nourishing acts for ourselves this winter, eating the nourishing foods, generating our warmth, generating our energy. This Imbolc time really speaks of the first days when we feel a quickening. So it's often called a quickening time of year. It's the first time when we're really starting to notice the lighter days. I've certainly been noticing how the evenings are lighter. I'm leaving work and it's still light out now, rather than it getting dark while I'm there and exiting in the darkness still. The light is really visibly returning. And so there is this quickening, this hope, this warmth that's rising, and there's an anticipation. And so I feel us all down in there in that earth cave, kind of like getting ready to come out of hibernation in the spring. And so while we're there, while we're still in this cave, it's a wonderful time to continue to tend to our bodies, to continue to nourish them, to continue to build strong relationship with them. It's a wonderful time to be doing some deep questioning of ourselves and our path, and journeying inwardly, journeying into our bodies, journeying in the imaginal realms, the realms of our psyche, the realms of our soul, the realms of the spirit world, however you want to pose that. Doing some journeying and deep reflecting and questioning is really important at this time. At the beginning of winter, we kind of set intentions and plant some seeds. And now, we're feeling we're pregnant with those seeds, and they're growing and getting ready to be birthed, and we can feel that hope, that possibility coming. And it's a great time to really realign yourself with the intention, with the goal, because sometimes, after these 6 weeks of winter, a lot's changed. We've discovered new things about ourselves in this deep incubation period, and we maybe want to tweak our trajectory. It's also a wonderful time to recommit ourselves to these goals and intentions. We often start the new year out really strong with our New Year's intentions, and then, around 6 weeks later, around this time, things have started to fall off. And maybe it wasn't maybe we need to change course. Maybe we need to reevaluate. And so having time and space to question what the path they're going on, and also making new commitments, or not even new commitments, but recommitting yourself to what's important. And that might be the same thing, and it might have shifted. So spending time down in this warming earth cave, journaling, contemplating about these things, about your commitments to yourself, your commitments to your work, your loved ones, the wider community, the world, where you are on that in that path right now. And along those same lines, wonderful to be questioning what it is that you're in service to. So as we begin to embark on this path of the year, aligning yourself with what you want to be in service to, what all your actions coming forward, or in the spring and the summer, when we're doing more external work, what those actions want to be in service to. So whether that's your own personal healing, whether that's a specific cause that you're passionate about, whether that's your family or your creative endeavors or a work project, really getting clear about what you're in service to. And that will help direct and guide your path forward. Another thing I wanted to talk about is how Imbolc aligns with Groundhog Day here in the US. And, Groundhog Day is kind of a modern divination practice, where we're looking to external symbolism to kind of get answers about a question that we have, how long is winter going to be? And we ask the groundhog, we see what happens with the groundhog. It sees its shadow or it doesn't, and it tells us what to expect. And so there is, this sense of divination at this time, and this, asking for symbols and asking for, guidance and messages to reinforce what it is that feels good and clear for us, or what it is that's going to happen. So, using your own divination tools at this time, asking some questions, drawing tarot cards, just asking your higher self for questions, and doing some free writing. There's lots of ways to do that, and to get really creative about, finding answers or getting messages, or following symbols that you receive, or serendipities. And the last thing I want to talk about before we get into plant medicine is this idea of purification. So, we're, again, in this cave in the winter, in this beautiful, warm, earthen hibernation, and there's a fire there, and it's warming, and we're expanding and really nourishing ourselves. expanding our internal world. And it's a time when we can purify. There's a purification theme around this time. So really purifying ourselves to get ready to emerge. And so that can entail, doing some clearing energetically clearing, purifying the body, maybe doing some bone broth cleansing, and clearing out your home, like maybe stuff that's piled up over the winter, projects that might need clearing, or even I've had some evergreen boughs in my house, and clearing those out, offering them back to the earth. I also had some leaves still from the fall time, and so just like getting everything ready for a fresh start. So before the real spring cleaning, it's kind of like the preparation for spring, purifying the self, purifying the soul, purifying intentions, purifying the home. And fire is an element I think of often with purification. So you can, lighting candles, imagining the fire, coming in your body, warming you up, like as you're sitting inside of the womb of the earth, allowing the fires to melt anything that's been kind of like frozen on, or all the sludge that you might have gathered from winter time when you're just being more still, getting some fire just slowly, not like fierce fire, but just like the purifying aspect of fire to come in. So, even just lighting some candles and sitting in stillness or communion with the flames, and imagining that flame coming in and just melting and purifying anything that's been stuck. And so there's a good many themes that you can explore, and some ritual practices to go along with them. And a couple of plant medicines I want to mention. There's 3 I have. The first is Cottonwood, which I talked about in my winter solstice video, so check that out. There's more information in that than I'll share in this piece. But Cottonwood is a plant that is, I always think of during the winter time, but especially this time of year. The buds, I'm harvesting the buds around this time, and I'm getting their medicine, and the buds have this just like beautiful resinous container, this capsule that surrounds the leaves before they break through, and it's just this really nourishing resin that is very regenerative to our cells and our bodies, and just kind of reminds me of that like winter cave that's warming and just like ready to come out. But yeah, the medicine is very physically regenerative to our cells as well, and just provides a sense of hope and renewal, which is really present at this time. So that's the first one. You can watch the other video for more information about Cottonwood. And the second plant is Angelica, and I don't work a lot with Angelica, but she really wanted to be involved in this video today. Angelica is a very powerful plant. She's one that's often talked about with opening the crown chakra and connecting to the angelic realms. But equally, I find like her very grounding and rooting us into the earth. So there's this kind of like polar dynamic happening. And she has a hollow stem, which, traditionally kind of symbolizes a plant good for journeying work. So again, a support for any journeying or divination work you wanted to do at this time of year, helping connect you with the spirit world, and, messages from your higher self, from any guides from the plants, however you want to think about that. And she is also really warming, so the energy is like very nourishing, warming, purifying the blood, helps, clear, move blood, and helps the digestive fire. So it really helps like warm our bodies after this like slower winter time, getting us prepped for spring. And one other thing I want to mention about Angelica is Stephen Herod Buhner talks about Angelica as being for people who feel hollow inside. So helping, people who just like don't have quite a strong sense of identity. Maybe there's a lot of anxiety or tend to be up in the head, but like really kind of anchoring you back into your body, and giving you a sense of groundedness, a sense of self. Often also a transition from like a maiden energy to mother energy. So just really like landing yourself in your purpose and your body in a way that's really helpful, especially, thinking about this time of year as we're like deciding what we're moving forward with, or wanting to move forward with, deciding what we're in service to, and clarifying these intentions, helping us really like journey, but also root that into our body, as into this earth that's our body, as we move into the spring. And the third one is ginger. Ginger is, I try to eat ginger almost every day. I love ginger. It's so warming. It's great for the circulatory system. It's great for the immune system. It's like a sweet, compassionate, loving, but also kind of feisty spirit. So again, similar to Angelica, just like helping, clear, purify, move the blood, and tend to our digestive fire, tend to nourishing and assimilating nutrients and nourishment for our bodies, and giving us a little bit of that fire within the element of earth. So I hope that these medicines and these rituals will help you really align with yourself and the earth at this time of year. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you try any of these rituals or work with any of these plant medicines. And if you would like to be the first to know about these videos, hit the subscribe button, or head on over to my website and sign up for my mailing list. And I will see you next time.